In just the last hour, a jury was picked in the case of a man accused of shooting a Warren County deputy.
Now, Jordan Burgess takes a look at the case and what's next.
Day one of that trial wrapped up just a short time ago here at the Warren County Courts building. The entire day, about 6 hours worth, all spent on picking a jury.
Example of direct and circumstantial evidence.
Judge Timothy Teep gives instructions to the jury, asking them not to talk about the case. The process of picking the 12 people and 2 alternates took the entire day. They'll hear the case of Mohammed Laghaoui. He has 10 counts against him. Prosecutors say he shot his dad after an argument over eating hummus during fasting for Ramadan. They say he then shot Warren County Deputy Katie Barnes as she was responding to the family's call for help. The manhunt for Laghaoui led to a lockdown in the Landon area for several hours. In asking questions to the jury today, the defense gave some indication of their strategy. They have entered a not guilty plea by reason of insanity for Laghaoui. Many of the questions had to do with synthetic marijuana known as K2 or spice. They also asked about how jury members feel about gun ownership. And they were hoping to go visit the crime scene today. Instead, that will happen first thing tomorrow morning, and then that will be followed by opening statements in the case. Jordan Burgess, 9 on your side.
All right, Jordan, thank you. As police try to find suspects in Sunday morning's nightclub shooting, well, people who live and work near Cameo want to know what's next for the establishment. Just this afternoon, the club surrendered its liquor license to CPD. Of the 17 people who were shot, 1 person was killed. The Cincinnati police chief is confident there were at least 2 shooters in this shootout. Well, neighbors and people who work in the area want the owner of the club to be held accountable.
Before Adonis, it had been a real nice restaurant. It had been Annie's that had been really popular for a while too. I mean, the place has such potential. It's really just been a nuisance for quite some time now.
The club was the site of a shooting on New Year's Day in 2015. In September of that same year, the owner of Cameo nightclub released a statement last night calling the shooting, quote, senseless, and says the club plans to fully cooperate with police. Among the injured, 5 are still in the hospital, we are told. 2 people remain in critical condition.
The shooting has had an impact on more than just the people who were there at Cameo nightclub Sunday morning. The Hawksworth Blood Center is asking for help after much of their supply was used. A tweet from the Blood Center reads, "We count on donors every day to provide for emergencies." There are 7 donor centers across the tri-state. There will be updates throughout the evening on this developing story coming up at 6. The 9 on your side I-team digs into what Cameo was really required to do in terms of safety and security. You can always get the latest information on WCPO.com.
A Springdale man is accused of using a beer bottle as a weapon. Dueler Velasquez Ramirez is being held on a $50,000 bond. Police tell us he got into a fight with another man. The argument escalated and Velasquez Ramirez then broke a beer bottle and stabbed the man in the head. Officers say he then ran out at them out of the home. When he could not get back in, he then banged on the door and neighbors then called police. A spatula attack led to the arrest of a Norwood man. Take a look. Police say Kevin Coldiron was at a barbecue when he got into some sort of fight there. A spatula was then thrown at him and Coldiron allegedly began beating the man who threw it. We're told the victim was beaten so badly his eyeball was cut open. Coldiron was eventually arrested and charged with felonious assault.
A Butler County robbery suspect is now in police custody after a brief chase. He was arrested in northern Kentucky overnight. Police say a Park Hills officer ran the license plate of a Ford pickup truck and found it had been reported stolen from a home just a few hours earlier. So the officer tried to stop the suspect, but that suspect tried to run away. He was caught. Police recovered the truck along with money and a gun that was also stolen from the home. There is an important road closure you need to know about before you head out the door tomorrow morning, folks. The intersection of Fields Erdel Road and Columbia Lebanon Road will be closed for 14 weeks. The closure is for the construction of a single-lane roundabout at the intersection. Chopper 9, the only local helicopter getting you breaking news first, flew over Warren County today as crews began their work to see alternate routes around the area. Go to WCPO.com/scene-on-9.
President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, may be questioned as part of the probe into ties between Russia and the president's associates. The White House says that Kushner has already volunteered to speak with the Senate Intelligence Committee, but has not heard back. The committee wants to question Kushner about meetings he arranged with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. And just today, it was announced that Kushner will lead the new White House Office of American Innovation. He will focus on overhauling the federal government.
Kushner's wife Ivanka Trump is making her first trip abroad since her father became president. She is headed to Germany to represent the U.S. at a Women's Empowerment Summit late next month. The summit promotes the economic participation of women in the world's leading economies. Cincinnati Museum Center has a brand new interactive play lab. It was unveiled today inside the Duke Energy Children's Museum. The new permanent exhibit is called Kid Space. It features 5 zones where kids can experience science, play, art, creativity, and exploration. Now, even though the Museum Center is in the restoration process, staff want to let you know they are open for business.
Don't let the cranes and construction equipment outside fool you. Cincinnati Museum Center is open, active, and growing. We are updating the museum experience for a new generation.
Some areas inside Kid Space include a wet zone where children can create masterpieces through painting and ceramics. There's also a shadow play area and a computer and 3D printing zone.
The renovation of an iconic Cincinnati building seems to be full of surprises. 9 on Your Side cameras got an exclusive look inside as work is done on the music hall there. Among the surprises, crews found several large windows as they removed plaster throughout the structure. The Society for the Preservation of Music Hall is saving the old glass and really hopes to display it once the renovation is complete for everyone to be able to see. To see an exclusive look at other hidden treasures that were also found during the construction and renovation, head over to WCPO.com.
Cincinnati-based Macy's is making some changes to try to lure customers into its stores. It's moving clearance items to dedicated sections dubbed Last Act, which will allow bargain hunting shoppers to find deals a little easier. Items in that section are reduced as much as 85% off the original price.
Putz's Creamy Whip has now opened its doors for the season. It opened at 10 this morning. The ice cream shop has been a West Side tradition since 1938. In the 1970s, a letter from President Richard Nixon moved the I-74 construction project 9 whole feet in order to save the location. Get your ice cream treat tonight through 9 p.m.
Yum. Controversial clothing. An airline defends its decision to bar 2 teens from a flight. Next on 9 on Your Side at 5:30, the carrier explains why these girls had to follow a different dress code than other travelers.
In a daring attempt to stop a criminal, construction workers are caught on camera going to desperate measures to stop a man from stealing their tools.
And forced to buy more. John Matarese reveals the reason some tri-state stores want you to buy more to get the best deals. You're watching 9 on Your Side at 5:30. Firefighters in California are putting out hotspots at a large building. Look at this. This was destroyed overnight. At least 1 person was killed in that fire. And Oakland firefighters also spotted what looked like a body on the 3rd floor, but intense flames and heavy smoke prevented them from investigating. It does come just months after 3 dozen partygoers died in an Oakland warehouse fire.
Well, Uber apparently is suspending tests of its self-driving cars now after one of the vehicles was involved in a crash. Here are the details. The wreck happened Friday in Tempe, Arizona. Tempe police say the Uber SUV was struck by another car, causing the Uber vehicle to roll over onto its side. No one was seriously injured. Police say the driver of the non-Uber vehicle failed to yield, leading to the crash.
United Airlines is defending its decision to bar 2 teenage girls from boarding a flight. They were wearing leggings. The airline says the girls were told they could not board a flight from Denver to Minneapolis because the leggings violated the company's dress code policy. You see, the girls were past travelers. Those are United employees and their dependents. They get to fly for free or on a standby basis. United says such travelers have their own dress code because they actually represent the company.
Texas police hope this now viral surveillance video will help them catch a thief. Take a look. A man is seen driving up in a red car and stealing a $1,200 saw from a construction site. Some workers actually saw what he did and went after the thief. One crew member even jumped onto the hood of the car as it sped through the neighborhood. No one was hurt in the chase. The driver is still on the run tonight.
2 for $2 and 4 for $4 deals are taking over lunch menus, while grocery stores are upping their 2 for deals as well. Consumer reporter John Matarese on your side with the big catch with many of these so-called deals. Steve.
Rain, thunderstorms for tonight. We'll look at where the rain stands, how much we're getting. We'll look within the storm, see how much in the way of hail and lightning could be heading our way. And I'll show you that Reds opening day forecast on the other side of the break.
New on 9 on Your Side. Chaos at a Cincinnati nightclub. Now the safety practices examined. The wrinkle 9 on Your Side's I-team found in the security agreement between the city and Cameo nightclub. Next on 9 on Your Side at 6.
You're watching 9 on Your Side at 5:30.
More people are pulling the plug on their cable and satellite boxes. The pay TV industry apparently lost 1.7 million customers last year. You may be one of them. One of the biggest problems for cable companies right now, millennials. Some may be cutting the cord to save money. Others are canceling their cable subscriptions and paying for streaming services like Netflix instead. As spring arrives, so do new scams. Scammers tend to increase their activity and prey on the elderly more during this season. And that is why the Butler County Prosecutor's Office is designating April as Senior Awareness Month. They have already launched a special page on their website